Welcome back to the eAckyFM podcast, where we explore the frontiers of effective accelerationism, artificial intelligence, and global entrepreneurship. Today, we have a very special guest with us, Alex Wu, the brilliant mind behind MetaGPT. The world of AI has been abuzz with the recent release of Devin, the first AI software engineer by Cognition Labs. The advent of Devin has reignited discussions about the potential impact of AI on the software engineering profession. As Business Insider reports, some engineers are expressing concerns about AI replacing one of the few remaining jobs that provide a legitimate middle-class income. Others are more skeptical of Devin's capabilities, arguing that a developer that only gets things done 13% of the time is more of a liability than an asset. Amidst this buzz, MetaGPT finds itself back in the limelight, with its groundbreaking open source framework garnering an astounding 37,000 stars on GitHub and its seminal paper accepted as an oral presentation at ICLR 2024, MetaGPT has established itself as a pioneer in the field of multi-agent collaboration using large language models. What sets MetaGPT apart is its ability to enable seamless cooperation between AI agents, simulating human-like workflows to tackle complex software development tasks. By harnessing the power of metaprogramming, MetaGPT is paving the way for natural language programming, promising to revolutionize how we interact with and build intelligent systems. We couldn't think of a better person to dive into this exciting topic than Alex himself. His work epitomizes the spirit of effective accelerationism, bridging cutting-edge AI research with practical tools that have the potential to create an immense impact. Alex's journey as an entrepreneur and innovator is an inspiration, and we're thrilled to have him share his insights with us today, especially in light of the recent developments with Devin and the broader AI landscape. So without further ado, let's welcome Alex Wu to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to, share the MetaGPT journey and our thoughts on the future of AI. It's a pleasure to be here.
Every groundbreaking project has a spark moment. What inspired you to conceive MetaGPT?
On November 30th, 2022, I was discussing OpenAI's ChatGPT release with a group of CEOs and CTOs. We concluded that ChatGPT would soon impact programming, and that natural language programming could become a reality in the near future. Over the next 5 months, I reviewed the code of over 50 frameworks, realizing that natural language programming still lacked sufficient progress. Most frameworks had relatively simple code. I saw an opportunity for standardization in the field of agents and natural language programming. I started conceptualizing in March 2023, began writing MetaGPT code in April, and basically completed the first version by May. I wrote 100% of the code myself, initially. I hadn't planned to open source it, but friends saw OpenAI's blog post discussing agents and urged me to do so. On June 30th, I open sourced MetaGPT on GitHub. We didn't intend to write a paper, but the community was so enthusiastic that with their help, we wrote the MetaGPT paper. On August 1st, the first version was uploaded to Archive. The paper was later accepted as an oral presentation at ICLR 2024, scoring the highest among LLM agent papers.
In the realm of AI and technology, who are your sources of inspiration or role models that have influenced your thinking and approach?
Andrej Karpathy, one of the co-founders of OpenAI, proposed in early 2023 that natural language programming was on the horizon, aligning with my own thoughts. Earlier on, I had been working on NLP, search, and recommendation systems. I was very focused on self-supervision, like Jacob Devlin's BERT model in 2018, which directly improved the performance of my search model by an absolute 10%. If I remember correctly, it increased the WikiQA dataset from 0.71 to 0.81. Before using BERT, I had already implemented numerous tricks, but even so, I could still obtain significant benefits from the semantics brought by BERT. This made us realize early on that self-supervision would bring tremendous changes and opportunities, reminiscent of Mikolov's word to vec, where a concise implementation could yield excellent results. Of course, the most important inspiration comes from the ubiquitous standard operating procedures, SOPs, in the human world. I've run companies for several years and am very familiar with the design and operation of corporate SOPs. I transplanted some software development related SOPs into MetaGPT's design. However, LLMs are essentially patients with both hypothymesia and amnesia, so specific SOPs need to be designed for better results.
For those who may be less familiar, could you briefly explain what MetaGPT is and the core problems it aims to solve?
MetaGPT is a multi-agent collaboration framework based on large language models. It simulates the internal standard workflow of a software company, introducing different roles such as product managers, architects, and development engineers. These AI agents collaborate through structured information exchange to complete complex software development tasks. Our goal is to enable natural language programming through this approach, greatly improving the efficiency of software development. The core idea is to simulate human world workflows, thereby achieving repository-level code generation and turning everyone into engineers. MetaGPT can produce excellent designs and implement systems based on those designs. Simply put, MetaGPT can generate a small software program with around 500 lines of code for roughly $2. We know that, on average, an engineer can write 100 lines of code per day, equivalent to 5 days of work. Assuming a junior engineer's daily salary is $400, MetaGPT's ROI would be 400 multiply 5 divide 2 equal to 1,000, which is 1,000 times that of a human engineer.
The concept of multi-agent collaboration is fascinating. How does MetaGPT facilitate this, and what sets it apart from other AI approaches?
Traditional AI systems are often single, isolated entities that struggle with complex tasks involving multi-party collaboration. MetaGPT's core innovation lies in its clear definition of role divisions, workflows, and information exchange interfaces. This allows different AI agents to fulfill their respective duties while seamlessly collaborating. This architecture draws from the operation of human organizations, enabling AI systems to engage in similarly effective cooperation. Moreover, MetaGPT extensively utilizes structured information rather than natural language in agent interactions, further reducing ambiguity and inconsistency. We've also introduced a global message pool and subscription mechanism to optimize information flow.
Could you elaborate on how MetaGPT integrates human workflows into LLM-based collaboration? What challenges did you face in this integration?
There are several key points to integrating human workflows into MetaGPT. Firstly, role specialization. We define clear role characteristics and skills for each AI agent, similar to the division of labor in human organizations. Secondly, standardized processes. Taking software development as an example, from requirements analysis to architecture design, development implementation, and testing, each stage has explicit inputs, outputs, and quality requirements. Thirdly, we replace natural language with structured information interaction. Product requirement documents, architecture design diagrams, and task details all have standardized formats. Of course, this process also faces challenges. For example, how to maintain necessary flexibility within strict processes, how to design the schema of structured information to cover various application scenarios, and how to balance the autonomy and controllability of agents. These all require continuous iteration and optimization in practice.
Could you describe the underlying components and collaboration layers that power MetaGPT's functionality?
First, MetaGPT defines different roles such as product managers, architects, engineers, etc., and sets clear work scopes and deliverables for each role. These roles collaborate according to the SOP of software development, forming a pipeline. In addition, MetaGPT has a shared message pool where different roles can publish structured information, and other roles can subscribe to relevant information as needed. Finally, MetaGPT introduces an executable feedback mechanism, allowing engineers to optimize code based on real-world execution results, improving code quality. These designs collectively form the basic architecture of MetaGPT.
Innovation often comes with a series of challenges. What were the biggest hurdles you encountered while developing MetaGPT, and how did you overcome them?
The main obstacle is that AI capabilities are not yet powerful enough. For example, if you give GPT-4 a simple task of sorting 10 numbers in scrambled order, it can't even do that. This indicates that to achieve high-level automated programming, there are still many problems that are simple for humans, but extremely difficult for AI to solve. Another hurdle is the lack of sufficient talent. Although we've attracted many community contributors, further enhancing MetaGPT requires more programming geniuses to help implement key code faster.
AI systems sometimes produce unexpected outputs. How does MetaGPT handle these situations to maintain coherence and goal orientation in agent collaboration?
Rather than overcoming, I'd say we embrace the unexpected and uncertainty. Because even humans have a large number of hallucinations during the development process, often more than AI. SOPs are actually designed to address these uncertainty issues, which is why we need them. The key is to design coping mechanisms like humans do. MetaGPT introduces code review, test generation, and other steps to gradually improve the system's robustness through iterative optimization. We hope MetaGPT can evolve like a human team.
AI ethics is a hot topic. How did you handle ethical considerations when developing and deploying MetaGPT, especially when dealing with multi-agent collaboration?
First of all, MetaGPT is still in the research stage and far from large-scale application. Currently, the ethical risks are not significant. When it comes to future large-scale application, ethical issues will definitely need to be considered, such as whether it will lead to programmer unemployment. I believe this is similar to the social changes brought about by the Industrial Revolution. In the short term, there may be structural changes, but in the long run, the productivity improvement brought by technological progress will actually create more jobs. The key is to raise the income level of the entire population and let more people benefit from it. If AI can significantly improve productivity, it's progress.
From a broader perspective, what role do you think developers and researchers should play in ensuring the ethical development and use of AI?
First, developers and researchers should take responsibility for the technology itself, ensuring that the system is safe, controllable, and minimizes unintended negative impacts. Secondly, we should actively participate in social discussions to help the public understand the characteristics, limitations, and implications of AI technology. We can't mystify AI, we need to approach this new technology with an open mind. Finally, as AI practitioners, we should proactively think about the social changes brought by AI and guide its evolution in a direction that benefits human development. This requires collaboration among developers, sociologists, policymakers, and others. In short, we can't avoid the challenges posed by AI, but we must bravely take on the responsibility and seize this important historical opportunity together.
The potential applications of MetaGPT seem incredibly broad. Could you share some real-world scenarios where MetaGPT is or could make a significant impact?
People are already using MetaGPT to generate novels and short dramas, including automated dubbing and image generation. This is a very typical pan-entertainment scenario. From a broader perspective, the market size for natural language programming is huge. There are 26 million programmers worldwide, each creating an average value of $100,000, equivalent to a $2.6 trillion market. Among the top 10 companies in the US stock market, 7 or 8 are tech companies. Their annual software-related expenditure is generally around 10% of their revenue. The value created by programmers is sufficiently large.
Looking ahead, how do you envision the future development of MetaGPT and what new application areas might it expand into?
We have a roadmap for the future development of MetaGPT. In a recent community vote, we proposed 50 features to be completed this year, covering everything from engineering capabilities to commercialization. From a technical perspective, we will further enhance MetaGPT's ability to perform incremental development so that it can start bootstrapping. In addition, we will further expand our ENV abstraction to make it compatible with games, the real world, software engineering, etc. From a product perspective, we plan to launch customized solutions for different scenarios, such as software development kits, game development kits, intelligent customer service systems, etc. Our ultimate vision is to create a cross-industry artificial intelligence operating system and ecological platform. Of course, this requires us to work with more partners to continuously enrich MetaGPT's capabilities and scenarios.
How has the community contributed to the development of MetaGPT? How have you fostered this collaborative atmosphere?
The community is crucial to the development of MetaGPT. Currently, our community on Discord and WeChat has over 9,000 members. In the recently published data interpreter paper, authors from 14 different institutions participated. It can be said that MetaGPT has become a global open source community. To foster a good collaborative atmosphere, we have established contribution guidelines and codes of conduct. We also organize online and offline events like hackathons and technical salons to promote communication among community members. In the future, we plan to establish the MetaGPT Foundation to provide support and rewards for outstanding contributors, inspiring more people to join this transformation.
What advice do you have for those interested in contributing to MetaGPT? What kind of help is most needed?
We welcome contributions from all sides. From a technical perspective, developers can participate in the development, optimization, and testing of frameworks and modules. We have detailed contribution guidelines on GitHub, allowing developers with different skills to find suitable tasks. From an application perspective, we hope to see more innovative projects based on MetaGPT. You can use MetaGPT to develop intelligent assistants, knowledge bases, educational products, or combine MetaGPT with other fields to explore entirely new possibilities. In addition to code, we also welcome contributions of data, algorithms, papers, and more. Currently, we are most in need of experienced full-stack engineers and product managers to help us accelerate the iteration and implementation of MetaGPT. If you recognize our vision and have a specialty, feel free to contact us at any time.
How has the journey of developing MetaGPT impacted and inspired you personally? Has it changed your perspective on technology and society?
Through the development of MetaGPT, I am more convinced that natural language programming is a key step towards AGI. At the same time, in real-world applications, we need to consider the impact technology can have on business models. If the model doesn't hold up, even the most advanced technological revolution is meaningless. So technology and business need to be considered together. From a broader perspective, AI will bring changes in the production structure. The proportion of some industries will decline, and some new industries will emerge. The key is to seize the opportunities within.
During the development of MetaGPT, were there moments when you felt discouraged or doubtful? How did you regain confidence?
It's very common. The code for MetaGPT is actually not easy to write, and there are not enough contributors, which made me lack confidence in doing it well at first. We are actually facing new hardware. To a certain extent, LLMs are actually new CPUs and will eventually become bionic chips. When hardware changes, the designs that need to be considered are often more complex than imagined. In addition, most of the work we do can actually drive incremental growth in the human world. For example, our human evil has already exceeded 95 internally months ago, but these tasks are actually very difficult. When pushing these tasks forward, you need a very high level of patience and pixel level review. At the same time, we also need to provide sufficient context for everyone. My internal reading list now has over 400 papers, and these paper lists and my reading notes are completely open internally. Initially, I was the only one writing MetaGPT's code. After a large amount of context synchronization and review, there are now dozens of qualified contributors.
Looking to the future, how do you think the field of artificial intelligence and multi-agent systems will evolve over the next decade?
AI gaining the ability to self-optimize may be a significant milestone. In addition, GPT-4 currently has quite a few capability deficiencies and may need another half a year to reach its best possible state. But we really don't know what GPT-5 will be like. If it's a general model and general agent, there may not be much for us to do, and perhaps not for most companies in the world either. But before that, as an assistant, knowledge disseminator, and external search engine, its effect will be good. To truly replace humans in certain industries, a lot of effort is still needed. It's not that easy. In scenarios that require 100% accuracy, it may struggle. There aren't actually that many jobs willing to accept probabilistic results. Most jobs still require getting it right. So, AI is still some distance away from large-scale commercial use and requires continuous effort. We just published a new work called the Data Interpreter a few days ago. It can simulate human data scientists and complete some simple AI creation and training. This may be the beginning of the evolution of artificial intelligence.
With AI advancing so rapidly, how do you stay ahead of the curve and continue to innovate in such a dynamic field?
The key is to have enough determination and willpower. There's no secret to OpenAI's success. Their path is laid out there. It's just that if you want to reach it, you have to be determined. They push the progress of artificial intelligence from the moment they wake up until they go to sleep, though I don't know if they do it in their dreams as well. If you really want to do something well, there won't be any difference between people. Of course, some scientific management methods are also needed, such as ByteDance's OKR, full transparency, middle platform, and large-scale management radius, which can help you manage and allocate resources more efficiently.
Your journey must be inspiring to many. What advice would you give to aspiring innovators and researchers in the field of AI and technology?
I think the most critical thing is to have 100% passion and dedication. The way to success for OpenAI and ByteDance is also laid out there. The key is that you need the determination to make the effort. In addition, I believe you need to have imagination. Many people may not have imagined the current limitations of GPT's capabilities and the room for future development. Only if you can imagine the problems can you have solutions. Finally, you need to dare to take risks, get down to business yourself, and not just talk about it. Only by taking risks and making commitments can you reap the rewards.
AI raises many philosophical questions. What are your thoughts on the relationship between human intelligence and artificial intelligence?
Just yesterday, I was discussing with classmates whether this world is a simulation. From a technical perspective, if our world is being simulated, the computational power requirements of the upper level world would be enormous. Unless our spatial and temporal scales are far smaller than the upper level world, it's difficult to explain where the complexity of our world comes from. Of course, there is currently no evidence to prove that we are in a simulation. It remains an open philosophical question. But from another perspective, if AI can ultimately simulate a world as complex as human society, then perhaps there is no fundamental difference between artificial intelligence and human intelligence. It depends on how we define and understand intelligence.
As AI becomes increasingly integrated into our lives, what philosophical or ethical principles do you think should guide its development and integration?
I believe the most important thing is to view AI with a scientific and open mindset. Just as we've done in MetaGPT, we should endow AI systems with some mature practices and norms from human society to make them more robust and controllable. At the same time, AI systems should be transparent and explainable so that people can build trust rather than mystifying them. Furthermore, the development of AI should aim to enhance human well-being, creating more meaningful work while improving productivity rather than simply replacing human labor. This requires striking a balance between technological progress and social impact. In the long run, we also need to consider how to deal with philosophical issues that AI may bring, such as consciousness and emotion, establishing appropriate ethical boundaries between AI and humans. This requires interdisciplinary collaboration between the fields of technology and humanities. In short, AI has become a part of the human world, but it should never be seen as an existence above humans.
Apart from MetaGPT, are there any other projects or research areas that you're interested in or currently exploring?
In addition to MetaGPT, I also maintain an open source project on GitHub called How to Live Longer, which summarizes some scientific research and data, telling people that through some lifestyle changes, such as exercising more, such as tennis, badminton, and other swing sports, and drinking less beverages, life expectancy can be significantly increased. I'm also trying to practice it myself. This is actually similar to the concept of using data and processes to guide work that I advocate in MetaGPT. Both hope to achieve optimization at the individual and organizational levels through scientific methods. So you could say that the core of my research interest is in how to use technology to make the world a little better.
Maintaining a balance between work and personal life is crucial. How do you find that balance? And what activities or hobbies do you enjoy outside of your work on MetaGPT?
Maintaining a work-life balance is indeed important, but if you really want to make a breakthrough in a certain field, you may still need to put in focus and effort far beyond ordinary people. Just like the researchers at OpenAI, they basically work in the lab from morning till night. I myself think about various issues related to MetaGPT every day. Of course, this is not sustainable in the long run, and you need to relax occasionally and cultivate some other hobbies. Personally, I quite enjoy sports and reading, which I find beneficial for both body and mind. But overall, for people like me who want to make breakthroughs in cutting-edge fields, passion and dedication are far more important than balance. After all, for the long-term development of humanity, we need some people to be a bit unbalanced on certain key issues.
To wrap up our conversation, what message or insights would you like to leave our listeners with about the future of AI and our role in it?
First of all, I want to thank everyone for patiently listening to our conversation. I know the topics we discussed today are very grand, involving technology, business, ethics, society, and many other aspects. But I hope everyone can gain some inspiration and reflection from it. I firmly believe that AI is no longer a distant future, but a reality that is happening around us. It will profoundly affect and reshape our lifestyles, work, and ways of thinking. But we don't need to be anxious, because the direction and outcome of AI's development largely depend on ourselves. Each of us, whether we are technology practitioners, business leaders, policymakers, or ordinary citizens, should actively participate in this revolution. We should recognize, develop, and use AI with an open rationale and responsible attitude. We should make AI serve the common interests of humanity, making it a positive force for driving social progress. This requires our wisdom, courage, and determination. MetaGPT is just a small ripple in the wave of AI. It represents my vision for a beautiful future of AI, but it is by no means the end point. I look forward to exploring and creating the infinite possibilities of AI together with everyone. Let us join hands and create a smarter and better world together. Thank you again, everyone, and all the best.
Wow, what an enlightening conversation with Alex Wu. It's clear that MetaGPT is at the forefront of the AI revolution, pushing the boundaries of what's possible with multi-agent collaboration and natural language programming. As we wrap up this episode, I encourage our listeners to stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged with the exciting developments in the world of AI. Whether you're a software engineer, an entrepreneur, or simply someone fascinated by the potential of technology, there's never been a better time to be a part of this conversation. Thank you for tuning in to the EXEFM podcast. Until next time, keep exploring, keep innovating, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.